Come onto your mat in a comfortable seated position. Sit tall and turn the palms up to the sky. Close your eyes and bring your chin so it's parallel with the floor. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and as you exhale, relax the shoulders away from the ears, letting the collarbones become broad, letting your thoughts begin to fizzle out, focusing now on your breath. Concentrate on breathing fully, first into the abdomen, then the sides, and the chest. And as you exhale, exhale from the chest, side, and the abdomen, emptying all the air out before you take another inhale. Scan your body from your head all the way down to your toes, just to check in and see how you're feeling. If you have a lot of energy, really try to push yourself today. If you're feeling kind of sluggish, just acknowledge that and be gentle in your practice. On the next inhale, grab hold of your block and come to lay on your mat. Place the block, as shown, in between the legs at the knees. Flex the feet, spread the toes, and as you exhale, lift the shoulder blades and the hips off the mat. Keep the legs engaged and go slower than you want to go. You're going to start by warming up the core. Keep the elbows open. With each exhale, lift. Inhale, release. Exhale, lift. We'll do 2 more here, and then we'll release. Take the block overhead, extend the legs. As you exhale, lift, put the block in between the legs, and bring the legs down to the mat. Then lift, take the block with your hands, and reach overhead. We want to keep the low back really pressed into the mat, using all our core strength. The feet are flexed and the toes are spread. 2, 1, and release. Stretch the arms overhead, stretch the feet away from you, get as long as you possibly can. Take a deep breath in, get even longer as you exhale, point the toes, and then release the pose. From here, we'll bend the knees, and then push into the feet so the low back is pushed into the mat. On the next inhale, lift the legs, flex the feet, bring the hands underneath the knees. As you exhale, lift the hips, inhale, rock forward. We'll go back and forth a few times just like this. We'll do 2 more, and on your last one, cross your feet, bring the hands down and jump back into chaturanga. Hold and release all the way down. As you inhale, peel the chest off the mat. Exhale, melt forward. Inhale, peel the chest. Spine is long, no compression in the low back. As you exhale, melt forward. Curl the toes. Engage the core, and we'll do a push-up on our knees. As you exhale, lift up for downward facing dog. So first one of the day, be really gentle. Make any small movements you need to. Check in with your fingers, make sure they're spread, and then plug the fingers into the mat. So really grip in with your fingertips and then push from the base of your fingers. As you inhale, walk your hands back to your feet, grab hold of your block, and bring it to the front of the mat. Then we'll just take an easy forward fold, bend the knees until you can hug your legs, and then intend to straighten. Don't worry if you don't get there. Just keep the intention there. On the next inhale, bend the knees and roll all the way up. Feet are hip distance as your arms lift up overhead. Exhale, come halfway and look down at your mat. So reach your arms out away from your body. Spine is long, flat back, and as you exhale, melt all the way down. Inhale, walk your hands forward to plank pose. So wrists, elbows, and shoulders are in one line. Core is engaged. Push the mat away from you. On your next inhale, chaturanga all the way down. Push the mat away from you, long spine. Curl your toes, lift your knees. Engage your core flat back as you push up. Downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, slowly step the right foot to the front of the mat. As you inhale, rise onto the fingertips. As you exhale, left knee comes down to the mat. Inhale, arms up overhead, interlace the fingers behind the head. Left knee and right foot are magnetized so that you have a lift in the pelvic floor. Chest is lifted. On your next inhale, bring the fingers down to the ground and straighten the right leg. As you exhale, intend to melt the stomach over the thigh. Inhale, walk forward, lift up the back leg. Turn the left foot so the outer edge is parallel with the short edge of the mat and rise up for warrior two. Front knee is 90 degrees or slightly larger. The knee is directly over the ankle. On your next inhale, reach back with your left hand, grab hold of the right thigh, and lift the right arm. Come back to warrior two. As you inhale, straighten the front leg, and as you exhale, rotate the hands. Take your block if you need to. You can rotate the block to any side that works for you. But don't rest your hand on the block. You want to spread the fingers and imagine there's a suction coming from the palm of the hand, so you're getting energy from that block and using your core strength to stay lifted. When you're ready, release the pose, move the block to the side, and step back for plank pose. Slowly lower down. Inhale, cobra pose, long spine. Exhale, melt forward. Curl the toes, lift the knees, engage the core, flat back, push up. Inhale, downward facing dog. Let your head go and invite the heels to come down to the ground. On your next inhale, lift the left leg as high as you can. Spread left toes and use your core to step the foot to the front of the mat. Inhale, rise onto the fingertips. Exhale, right knee comes down to the ground. Inhale, interlace the fingers behind the head. Chest is lifted. Right knee, left foot magnetized so you have a lift in the pelvic floor. Elbows are open. On your next inhale, bring the fingers down to the mat. Intend to straighten the left leg, left toes are bright, and melt the stomach over the thigh. As you inhale, crawl forward, lift the back knee, and turn the right foot so the outer edge of the foot is parallel with the short edge of the mat. As you inhale, windmill the arms up, warrior two. So hips are facing the long way of the mat. Front knee is 90 degrees, and the knee is directly above or slightly behind the ankle. Arms are strong. As you inhale, reach back with your right hand, grab hold of the left thigh, lift the left arm up overhead. Chest comes forward a little, breathing into that side body, and then release into warrior two. Inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, reach the arms forward, and then rotate. Here's where you can take your block and rotate it on either side that works best for you. Again, just the fingertips should be on the block, and you want to think about having a section from the palm, so you're getting energy from that block. Look down if it's too much for your neck to look up. On the next inhale, take it back to Warrior Two and windmill the arms down. Take the block out to the side, step back for plank pose, and slowly lower all the way down. Inhale, cobra pose, long spine. Exhale, melt forward. Curl the toes, lift the knees, activate the core, flat back as you push up. Downward facing dog. As you inhale, rise onto your toes. Bend your knees, use your core strength to pop forward. Halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up with a flat back, arms up overhead. Exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. So feet are together, knees are together, collarbones are broad. As you inhale, lift the right leg and send the body forward, leg back for Warrior Three. Drop the right hip, right toes pointed down towards the mat. Long body. As you inhale, grab hold of the block and bring your hands down in front. Bring the block so it's underneath your left shoulder and then move it to the left just a little bit. Fingertips are on the block. And as you inhale, open up the right hip, lift the right arm. Right fingers are spread, body is strong. Right toes are spread, toes are pointing out to the right. Use your core strength. Half moon pose. When you're ready, release the pose, setting the block to the side, and plug your hands down into the mat, keeping your leg lifted. Then we're going to jump up 5 times, using your core strength. And when you're ready, forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees, tuck the tailbone, roll all the way up. And we'll take it to the other side. So feet are together, knees are together, Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, lift the left foot. Spread left toes, bring the body forward. Take Warrior Three. Drop the left hip. Left toes are pointed down towards the mat. Body is long, look straight down. Collarbones are broad. When you're ready, bring your hands down, grab hold of your block. Bring the block underneath the right shoulder and then to the right just a little bit more. Right fingertips on the block. And use the hand like a straw, sucking up energy. When you're ready, open up the hip, lift the left arm. Keep the left toes bright and active. Use your core strength to keep that leg up. When you're ready, release the pose, spread the fingers, bring the hands down, keeping that back leg up. We'll transfer the weight onto our hands, popping up 5 times. Bring the feet together, forward fold. As you inhale, bend the knees, tuck the tailbone, and roll all the way up to standing Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, arms out in front. Rise up onto the toes. Push the legs together, use your core strength. Keep yourself upright as you come all the way down. Come to seated. Grab hold of your block and we'll bring it underneath our sits bones. So you want to sit on the edge of it. You don't want to sit all the way back. You can kind of rock back and forth just to feel your sits bones on the edge. And what this does is help tilt the pelvis forward, so you're in great alignment for a forward fold. Reach down and grab hold wherever you can on the legs. Keep your toes flexed, toes pointing back towards your face. And with each exhale, see if you can feel your stomach against your thighs. Don't worry about your head getting down to your knees. Think about the stomach against the thighs. As you inhale, rise up. Come off the block. Set it to the side for a second. We'll bend the knees and bring the arms out in front. Using your core strength, roll all the way back. Go slower than you want to go. Really take your time getting down there. Grab hold of your block, and we're going to use it to help us into bridge pose. So turn your block as shown. Place the block in between your legs, right about knee level, and then bring your feet back towards your butt. Toes are pointed straight out in front. A lot of times people point them to the sides, or they even come off their toes. You really want your toes plugged into the mat. If you've got a ponytail, take it out. And on your next inhale, push into your feet to lift the hips, and then interlace the fingers and roll onto the sides of the arms so you can lift your chest as well. So we're lifting the chest, the hips, the abdomen, and then we're squeezing the block between the legs. Toes are pointed straight out away from us, and they're plugged into the mat. Don't turn your head when you're in this position. This just helps to prevent any neck issues. Keep breathing, keep lifting, and when you're ready, release the pose. Keep the block just as it is, and you have the option to come back into bridge pose, or if you want to take it a step further, you can come into full wheel. So bring the heels as close to your butt as you can, elbows point up to the sky, and fingers point towards your shoulders. Squeeze your legs together, squeeze that block together, and you can come straight up into it, or you can pause on your head as shown, and then lift up. Look straight down between your hands, squeeze the block together, and then think about your spine. You don't want to have any compression. You want to picture your body as an upside down letter U. Keep the toes pointed straight out away from you. Don't let them splay off to the side. And then breathe really full, deep, powerful breaths. When you're ready, release the pose. Remove the block. And then we'll bring the block underneath our hips. On the next inhale, lift the right leg, followed by the left. And this is just a legs up the wall with the block type of pose. So you really want to have all your weight on this block. There should be very little effort involved besides just holding your legs up. Take a couple deep breaths here. When you're ready, release the pose, remove the block, and extend your legs out, opening up the legs mat distance, turning the palms up to the sky if they're not already, and then close your eyes. Let your eyes sink deep into the sockets. Let go of your breath. Just let it come naturally. Close your mouth, but part your teeth. And try to stay here for at least 5 minutes, letting your body absorb all the good things you just did.